Vainglory community? I am Playoff Beard here with the return of Zken. Isn't it exciting?
Ta-da!
It's excited. I'm excited. My team was very excited. They didn't even care that I was going to be on the stream. They only
I
cared
saw
about
the image.
and
Some guy named Playoff Beard, you know, why not?
Some guy named Playoff Beard. Hello, everybody. We're excited to see you. We're going to be talking about all the things that are upcoming in Update 2.12, some things that are coming in Update 3.0, which, of course, is when 5v5 will hit. And probably most importantly, we are going to be playing Fitness 5v5 for the very first time.
I'm ready. I got this.
For those of you who have not been following on social media, here's how this is going to work. Zkent is going to be playing 5v5 matches. Whenever he or a member of his team dies, he must do 5 push-ups in real time.
That's not what I signed up for. From what I heard, I'm supposed to do 5 push-ups when I die. Just when I die, not when my team dies. I was like, I'm doing push-ups the entire time. I can't just be on the ground doing push-ups for the entire match. That's ridiculous.
Okay, so real-time amendment to the plan. Okay, so anytime Zkent dies,
there you go.
He will do 5 push-ups in real time.
That sounds more reasonable to
now,
me.
That should still be fine. Like, we're having like an average of like 45 kills in a 5v5 match, so we can get him very sweaty. So we're going to be playing games on the PBE, the 5v5 PBE. And for those, I see a pretty good lineup in here ready to go for this first match. Jas is in this match. That is a very, very good player who I'm sure will be out for blood for killing Zkent.
It's okay. I got Nifmet on my side. He's going to carry me, right?
I am, very, very disappointed that I could not personally participate in the Fitness 5v5.
I was wondering about that because he sent me a message yesterday.
I had a terrible wrist injury that occurred at the least possible opportune moment.
I have my suspicions about this wrist injury.
It's true. It happened.
Tell me a little bit more details about this. What happened exactly?
We got these warband things, these hexlet things, and I was battling with Nibmet.
Okay.
And you put this on your wrist, and I was battling him. They're falling off, and there was a collision, and there was an injury sustained. And because of this injury, I can no longer participate.
I feel like your story has some holes in it.
The Fitness 5v5, but I will be rooting on Zkent. I'm sure he's gonna do great.
I'm not quite sure he's injured. I think I need some proof.
I can hardly move it.
You're lifting it up right now.
This isn't.
See, seems fine to me. I think he's got this.
I can't do anything.
Playoff here is just.
It's unfortunate. It's terrible timing. I'm heartbroken.
Oh no!
But the show must go on. The show must go on.
Okay, whatever.
And with that, I think we have a lot to talk about, but we're gonna put that all aside and get into the matches because that is what everyone wants to see. We'll continue. We'll talk about all the things, but I think probably first and foremost, Fitness 5v5 takes precedent. Can we kick off this match? Can we get the first game going? Zkent will be playing. Nibmet will be playing on his team. Oh, important thing I have not talked about yet. This is very, very important. Everyone in the chat, you may offer yourself up as tribute for Zkent to not have to do some push-ups. You can put in the chat, I will do 5 push-ups for Zkent. Then you need to go on social media. You need to use hashtag Fitness5v5 and post the cell phone video or whatever of you doing the push-ups on Zkent's behalf.
I think I got the first few. Like, my first few deaths, I got this. So but if I die a lot, someone please save me.
If you see him suffering, I did see some people on Twitter saying, I want to see Zkent suffer. I do not think that represents the Vainglory community. I think the Vainglory community loves Zkent. But if you do want to offer yourself up as tribute, that is an option to save him some push-ups here or there, give him a chance to rest, a chance to recuperate.
Would be nice.
All right. So with that, I think we can get into the matches. Should we get into the first game of this is 5v5. This is not, of course, the final version of 5v5 that will be coming out in February. This is similar to the build that you saw at the World Championship in the unveiling. Are a couple bugs here
I'm in the game.
There are a couple bugs here and there. I will warn everyone. One in particular that I think they're literally fixing right now is on Ghostwing. The Ghost Swing buff is not always working exactly right, so that is a tough objective to kill. You may want
Nimet's
to...
like signaling at me.
Yeah. What is it, Nimet? No, Ghost Swing, and the playtest I played yesterday was Ghost Swing. Oh, and this build is Black Claw. All right, well, that's
Black
what
Claw's
happens
broken,
with
apparently.
PvE. Some things get
So it
unstable.
goes.
It's fine. We'll work through it. It's 5v5. It's going to be great. Everyone's going to have fun. Hopefully, the things that are wrong with the build will work to Zken's disadvantage and cause him to die more.
All right. Looks like I am going towards the middle.
You're
My
going to go
team
mid?
seems to have locked in all the other roles.
All right,
so
you're gonna be a
I guess
carry?
I'm going to mid. Yeah, I guess so.
All right, a mid lane carry.
I'm
That is
going
a
to
vulnerable
play.
position. You can get ganked from top and bot. That is good if you want to see him do some push-ups.
I think I'll be fine. Totally fine.
As
Yeah.
we go throughout this stream, this is going to be relatively short, probably about an hour-long stream here. We're going to continue to do the streams in the lead-up to 5v5. So thank you for joining us today. Things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk, for anyone who didn't see, the timing of Update 2.12. Update 2.12 will be the early access update for golden ticket holders for 5v5. That's coming at the end of this month. Then in February is when 3.0 hits. That is when 5v5 opens up to everybody. No paywall, no nothing. Everyone can play 5v5.
Exciting. I'm looking forward to that.
We can talk a little bit about UI updates coming to the game to make players' experiences better. I know everyone decided they had many strong feelings about the actual
all that blue
things, but that's fine. That's what we love to hear from the community. We're going to talk about some benefits to players that are coming in the updates that we haven't really gotten into yet. We're going to talk about the new skin system, but that will all come after Fitness 5v5. 5v5 is coming, much hype. Let's get into this first game. Nibmet, Nibmet did not. I thought Nibmet would go support here to try to keep Zken alive. That is not the way he chose to go.
Nibmet does not have my back.
Nibmet does not have Zken's back as we imagined he would. Zken on Celeste. Celeste, very powerful hero, but not a lot of mobility. Can be very difficult in a 5v5 scenario when there are ganks coming from above and below. That could be scary. For the person asking, no, it is not Excoundrel, it is Playoff Beard. I wish Excoundrel were on the stream because he's much better at this than I am.
There's also another small bug on TV right now where the scout cams are actually getting exploded in one shot, which is a little bit unfortunate, but, you know, so it goes. It's fixed.
That won't be the way it is.
That will not be the way it is.
And if you're paying very close attention, you would have seen that Churngard Industries did release information on 3 items that are coming.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting.
5v5 that are Scout Cam enhancers. You can go to churngardindustries.com and look that up if you haven't seen it already.
Absolutely.
Those items are coming. This is not a downtime stream. This is just a stream for fun for those of you who don't remember the old days of Zken and Playoff Beard streams. Jas is the one to watch, I think, in this match. Is a very, very good player on Koshka, who's very strong in 5v5. Nimet, are your changes in this update? Oh, they are. So Koshka, you might see the barrier there on Koshka. That's new.
Worth
Koshka
it.
does
I'm doing push-ups.
kill Zken. That is the most important thing. Let's go to the cam. Are we on the cam? There we go. And Zken 4 and 5. Thank you, Zken. He must do so. If that causes him to be delayed in base, he's back to playing.
All right.
It's a shame I can't participate. Jas drawing first blood on Zken, which is the only blood that matters. And again,
it's okay. I got a kill. It was worth it.
As this goes along. All right. So offense, Dragonos volunteering for push-ups. That's very kind of you. Zken has said he's got the first few.
I got the first few. No problem.
We'll wait until his arms are getting a little sore, and then we'll take some people in tribute. The more he dies, the rougher this is going to get. So in a 5v5 setting, it could get pretty nasty.
I think it'll be okay. I think I'll at most give up, like, 5 deaths or so.
Now, Zken, you are one of the lead designers on the 5v5 project.
That I am.
I would love also, it might distract you, which is even better. So could you just talk us through kind of what you're seeing, what you're thinking about? A lot of people are going to be playing these positions for the first time when 5v5 hits, kind of how to think about these, how to think about this new map. Kind of take us inside your head here.
So one of the important things is, as you see, I'm playing in the middle lane right now. One of the big things you have to take into account there is Unlike in House to Unfold, where the laner is really focused on, getting their own farm, helping rotate down to the jungle occasionally, but really having their captain and their jungler rotate up to them. In 5v5, it's actually the laner's jobs to kind of rotate toward other lanes so that they can help assist their teammates.
And that's probably especially so with mid lane because that river current does flow outward from both sides, so you can accelerate yourself to the outer lanes for ganks.
Absolutely. I think that's an incredibly important part of the 5v5 map, is that being able to rotate toward the side lanes and help out your allies, especially because from mid lane, you're able to go help your allies much more efficiently, just because if you're able to push your opponent into their turret and basically force them to defend, you can actually outnumber your opponents very easily in the jungle or on the side lanes.
And for those who might not have seen, so the river in Sovereign's Rise in 5v5, that is Blackclaw Rush. The river, if you move with the current, you move faster. You get a move speed buff, and that's how you can navigate from mid lane. Kenzie can steal it.
Not quite.
Will Jazz pick up yet another kill here?
Nah, I got this.
No, he seems so carried.
Do I got this? Do I got this? Uh-oh, I'm dead.
Right, so
it's unfortunate.
Once again,
more push-ups.
It is time for, let's go to the cam. Let's go. Oh, we got a little cam within the cam action going on. And those are 5 from Zekent.
No problem. I got this.
He does work out. So far, no problems. Does not seem tired yet, so we won't worry about the help.
All is well. All is well.
All right.
So yeah, you want to make sure that you're able to rotate down to your allies. Unfortunately, I'm getting killed a lot because I'm terrible. But things are going okay. My teammates are helping hold the lane for me. I think it'll be fine come late game.
So just talk to me a little bit more macro in terms of how you're thinking about the match overall, what your team has to accomplish, what you're looking for people to do. If you were kind of the player coach right now on comms with the rest of your team, what would you be talking about?
Absolutely. One of the big things is to really make sure that your team is really focused on objectives over kills. While kills are incredibly important, especially in, fitness 5v5, being able to make sure that your allies are taking turrets, taking objectives over just running around the map getting kills is vital, because kills, while helping you get a little bit of a lead, doesn't actually win you the game. While getting a little bit of gold here and there is really helpful, being able to take down turrets and advance the state of the game, get more vision on the map, is the most important thing. So being able to drop those scout cams deep into the enemy jungle, see where your enemies are coming from, is far more important.
I am noticing that we're not seeing items here. That is probably just because this is, every day this build is changing as we get 5v5 to its final state.
It seems
like it's a little bit of a bug on the items, but Zekent, as we go, can talk about what people are building and what they're focusing on. So unfortunately, you can't see the items right now, but that's just the way it goes.
Aha! That's what you get for trying to kill me all the time.
Yeah, so that's a good example there. That's something Jas wouldn't normally do, going in, 1v3, 1v4, trying to kill Zekent, but that kind of extra win condition can ultimately work against you as well.
Absolutely. I think I can go a little bit more defensive this game, probably pick up an earlier Aegis, just to make sure I don't really get killed as much. Would be nice. And probably sit in the back lines, just make sure my teammates got my back.
So we have new objectives, obviously, in 5v5. We have Blackclaw coming in at 7.5 minutes. We have Ghostwing coming in at 15 minutes or so. Talk to me a little bit about how you think about these objectives. When is the opportune time to go for them? Just how does the game revolve or not revolve around these in the same way?
The way it really works is to make sure that you pick up these objectives when you have an opportunity to. When your opponents they don't have vision on the map, they don't have vision coverage over, say, Blackclaw or Ghostwing, being able to really catch them off guard and force them into a poor position is really what you want to do. I'm going to throw my ultimate out over there. Hit a little bit.
Comes a Solar Storm in.
But can I save my buddies? Uh-oh. This is not going to work out too well.
He's in trouble again.
I'm okay. I'm okay. My friends might not be, but I'm fine.
So the Copycat focusing on farming in the lane.
Absolutely.
There is a Hellfire Brew that's going to come through that probably did hit Zekent, and you have the burn damage there. Physics, though, is there to help out.
Very painful.
And I think Zekent will be fine for now. Nice of Physics, too. You do see a decent amount of duo mid lane in 5v5 and kind of the emergent meta, as it's easy to get to those outside lanes. Nimmet trying to do things, but instead just gets wrecked by a Valkyrie coming out of Waggy. Nimmet with his head hanging. That is not the body language I like to see from Nimmet there. Oh my gosh, Nimit looks devastated that he got caught out there, but I'm sure he'll
So
turn
it goes,
it
so it
around.
goes.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yep. Speaking of which, though, the captain, the roaming role, being able to really, whoa, hello.
A nice fearsome shade,
Oh, I missed.
keeping Zekent
Oh,
alive,
got
able
the
to turn
kill.
it around, and again,
Or
the
Phases gets the kill.
bloodthirstiness for Zekent, I think, is causing the red team here to make some decisions they might not otherwise make.
Alright, I'm gonna go a very defensive build. So I'm gonna pick up Frostburn, gonna get me an Eve of Harvest, maybe a Clockwork, and just stay alive in these fights while doing as much damage as possible. Because the other team does seem to want to kill me quite a bit.
They certainly do. And you were saying before?
Being able to play a little bit more, whoop, 1 second, in the middle of a fight right now. Let's see if I can do something right here. Not quite able to kill, or will I? Oh.
And one thing we might be able to talk about a little bit, we'll save it for the stream when update 2.12 comes out for the most part, but a lot of heroes, there's a lot of 5v5 optimization happening, making sure heroes are optimized or you know, viable and relevant in a 5v5 setting while still keeping them well positioned for 3v3. So some interesting changes. You might notice a few things in this build because Nimit has been working on the balance.
Absolutely, Nimit has been a fantastic job of making sure all the heroes are reasonably balanced for 5v5 and 3v3. We don't want to let the Halcyon fall by the wayside, so we gotta make sure that, you know, everything feels good on both those game modes. But as I was saying before, playing as a captain role is actually fairly important, and it's a lot more akin to the old. I think Roamer is actually a pretty good description of it now, where you're actually running back and forth between the jungle, the lanes, making sure that your allies have the support that they need wherever they need it.
And I don't know if you can talk about builds for a second. It doesn't look like this PvE build is displaying the builds on the spectator.
I'm not going to talk too much about builds just because I don't really have an opportunity to.
I'm just trying to kill you.
I know, it's very rude.
Nice play there. To secure the bump, Jazz gets Fearsome shaded away, and can Baptiste secure a kill before it turns on him? He does. The Solar Storm, goes wide.
I'm coming,
there
buddy.
Is the Idris Gary all over?
Oh, will he survive? He's okay. He's okay. He's okay. He's got this.
Will he be a nice afterburn? Comes out, and it's Siri now, and Gary able to dash to safety.
Very nice played from my team. So I'm mostly holding down the mid lane game as the farm that I need because I am playing more of a hyper carry that will really scale up into the late game. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm getting all the gold that I can. Oh, hello.
And Rhyme coming straight
Rhyme
in.
is just
1v2.
running at me. Interesting.
My goodness, that is
a little bit of a questionable move right there. A little bit too much bloodlust. Oh, didn't quite hit him.
Something that might be worth mentioning in the 5v5 environment, starting with 2.12, the calculation for CS is changing. I think it's something people have been looking for a long time.
Right. So we are actually readjusting it so that every time you get a kill or a CS, it is actually just equal to 1 CS as opposed to what it was before, where it would be like some questionable number of like every 40 gold is 1 CS, which doesn't really make sense.
I think a lot of people didn't even realize this, but when you looked and you saw kind of your minion count, that wasn't a true reflection of how many minions you've killed in the game.
Right, right.
That was a kind of composite calculation. So now it really is, if you kill a minion, you get 1.
Yep, which I think makes a lot more sense to most players. Just being able to very accurately determine how much CS you have is pretty important. We don't want to, you know, have like some strange calculation going on in the background. It's like, I have 15 CS, but you actually only have like 8.
Movement going very deep, doing some work on that Idris. He has
Must say
rebalanced
physics.
Idris.
All is well. All right.
And a cool
Let's
skin at
see. Oh yeah, there are a couple new pings, social pings, on the map, which is actually extremely useful.
Yeah, that's worth talking about. So coming into 12, there are new quick messages that are good for 5v5 especially, also good for 3v3. Some that weren't being used as much have come out, and then all those pings have been kind of integrated under the same menu option, so some other pings are there with the quick messages, kind of a little bit easier to use. Are there any messages that are going in particular that you're happy about?
We have, you know, a couple of the old ones, you know, the We Need Vision, things that, well, this is not the greatest place to be. Actually, we'll see how this goes. It might be okay for us.
Capture that dragon. Afterburn comes out on Waggy. Now it's
I whiff.
Captain Frenzy
I
getting
whiff.
reflex buff, and it is Chaz
more
picking
push-ups.
up a double kill. Time for the push-ups. Let's go to the push-up camp. Full screen for Zekent. He seems fine. He doesn't need any tribute right now. All right, there's another 5.
All as well.
Out of Zcant.
And I still have plenty of time to
Making it
spare to buy
work.
my items.
It's true.
So
He
that
does.
call on doing Black Claw is probably not the greatest on my end, but I'm just gonna call. Why not? Why not? It was fun to do. Saw a good fight happen, but unfortunately we weren't quite able to take down Black Claw in time.
And of course, for anyone who hasn't been following all the information, all the matches, all the unveilings of 5v5, if you capture this mythic creature Blackclaw in 5v5, Blackclaw will go straight to mid lane, march down the lane, destroying turrets along the way, a la Kraken, a very powerful fire breath on that dragon that can do some real work on the turrets. And the turrets, in turn, when they blow up, they do pretty good work on Blackclaw.
Hello. I don't think we're gonna kill him.
2v2.
I think we should deal with Black Claw.
Zcant thinking
Gotta
survival
kill.
first.
Gotta kill Black Claw.
Trying to drop some supernovas
So
on Black Claw. Doesn't have a lot of help here
Yep.
to take care of this dragon.
It's okay, I do good damage. I got a turret by my side. So one of the things about Black Claw is that while it is very durable, it doesn't actually do a huge amount of damage to the turret. It's more of a point of pressure for your opponents when you capture it. So if you don't actually escort it, it's not gonna actually take too much, do too much damage to a turret.
That's a good point.
So you really have to make sure you follow it, especially because those turret explosions also do some pretty significant damage to it. The big thing to watch out for though is the first time it engages each turret, it will do some pretty significant damage with its fire breath.
Now, while we have kind of the time to talk about it, you don't see it here on the spectator cam. But there is some, of course, in addition to all these other things you're seeing, like Fog of War, etc., there is something that is a pretty big deal that is coming in 212.
Both in 3v3 and 5v5.
Yeah, because of 5v5 coming in, we instituted this, but it is something that we can take advantage of with 3v3, so we're putting it in 3v3 as well. And that is a true free camera. And I don't think people really at first blush will digest how big a deal this really is, but you have complete control over what you see on the map and how you see it. So normally in your kind of default setting, you move around, you're relatively centered on the map. There's another big fight breaking out. Fearsome Shade drives the entire red team away. We see the Spires coming out from the Rhine, the Hellfire Brew, while Ringo has a chance. It's Reflex Block, the Solar Storm will clip Waggy, who goes in hard, but is going to meet
no
3
problem.
or 4 blue team members. That's
I'll
not
save
gonna
my
work
buddies.
Out. And the Afterburn coming through now. Zcant trying to stay alive. Nibmet did some work and then died. Look at how Zcant is kiting back. Look how he stayed out of the action. That's what you want to do on these backline carries.
There we go.
He doesn't want to be where the enemy team can get to him, especially those melee junglers or melee heroes.
And there
like
we go.
Rhyme, and that's a good display.
Can we do this?
Was
I don't think we can do
able
this.
to do damage, but without taking damage in return. No one on the red team was able to get to that back line. And if you let Zcant just hang out there, he's going to drop star after star.
Yeah.
Be able to do a lot of work.
And that's one of the really important things in team fights for 5v5. Being able to stay out of the fray as a carry is incredibly important because you want to do as much damage as you can while taking as little damage as possible. While sometimes you do want to move forward, allowing your team to really play that peel for you is very, very, very powerful.
And one thing that will feel very different is, well, in 3v3, a lot of the times these fights are like everyone smashes together, there's a giant cloud of dust, and then one person is probably left alive at the end of it with maybe 5 others dead.
Right.
And that is just not how a lot of these 5v5 fights play out. These 5v5 fights, they can be sprawling. There can be different points of interest all over the map, or, where different, 1, 2, 3 heroes are fighting. Fights can go on longer, and these kind of principles of correct or smart fighting come into play a lot more.
Absolutely. And one of the really important things I want to point out is you might have noticed my well, I guess we can't really see my item build, but one of the very important things in 5v5 is mobility. Being able to... What is going on right here? I'm going to back off. Whoa, buddy.
The Grace is just kind of going off now. Is that a support Grace or is that a weapon Grace?
It is a support Grace.
Okay. So Grace just getting aggressive, doing Grace things. Yato trying to stay alive. A nice reflex block will open up the opportunity for Jazz to pick up the kill. Meanwhile, starting.
All right, gonna back off right here.
It's Dragon. Look at the Dragon Fire.
Teammates are in some sort of engagement up top. Poor Nivmet. We'll just leave him be.
Yeah, nothing's gonna come of that.
I'm gonna put a little pressure on this turret, and then uh-oh. That's not good.
Fire Brew comes out, nothing to block it with, and Seekent will just absorb a little burn damage. Meanwhile, Siri taking a lot of damage from Jess, who tries to go in the Yummy Cat and Frenzy. That is reflex block. Physics trying to retreat, the last one left alive from this fight. And so kind of surprisingly, all of the red team will back off. They have other things in mind. Maybe an objective call was made, and they will head down.
They seem to be chasing me.
Oh no, they only care about Seekent.
I'm getting out of here.
Forget the strategic decisions. It's all about the push-ups. The Solar Storm does come out. Seekent does stay alive.
Dang it.
Momentarily, not long enough. And once again, Seekent will return. #fitness 5v5. He's not requested any help from the community yet, and until he does, we will let him do these himself. Unfortunately,
I haven't died quite enough yet. It's okay.
My wrist feels even worse than when the stream started.
I definitely believe you.
I can do
I definitely believe you.
The more I type on the keyboard, the more incapacitated I feel. It's very unfortunate.
Absolutely.
Right,
next time we're gonna have playoff year doing fitness 5v5. It's gonna be fantastic.
Be a really short stream or short.
Yeah,
match.
you just have to call upon the community to save you.
Maybe a blitz. Until I start going to the gym. Yeah. Anyway, Siri. Trying to take this Treant now. Do you want to talk a little bit? Well, actually, we never really got to finish our conversation about the free cam. But so basically, in 5v5 and 3v3, starting in update 2.12, you're going to have a toggle. It's right there in game. It's a little camera icon that you can push. And if you tap it, then you'll go from the regular cam, which is you kind of being automatically centered on the map as the camera automatically pans as you move, to instead it being like the camera works when you're dead. When you just use your finger to scroll, to kind of drag around the map and look all around the map, and that's how it is all the time. So if you want to go look 12 screens ahead, you can do that while you're playing. You can continue to move and continue to look wherever you want. If you want the camera positioned way out in front of you while you play because you're a backline carry, you can do that. If you want less room, want to see behind you. If you're in mid lane, you want to see top because that's where all the ganks are coming from. You have scout cams there. You can do that. Gary is in very, very deep. Does go down. Jas now trying to retreat. Nibmet will show no quarter to him and will try to pick up a kill. Yato stays alive as well. A good fight for Team Seekent here as they potentially flank.
My team is carrying me. This is great.
Members only. The Ringo is going to be able to get out unscathed, but that is a nice core collapse, catching the Ringo as well. Will he get out? He will not. As Nibmet follows up.
Thank you, team.
Coming out of Nibmet off camera.
So one thing I do want to point out is you might notice that the entire other team is dead. That normally would grant you an ace buff. However, the ace buff is actually in 5v5, not in this build specifically. But it will be in 5v5. However, it will only give the healing to heroes. It will not. Ooh, died to Ghost Swing. A little bit of fire breath right there going on. But it will not give the buff to minions. The 3 lanes of super powered ace buff minions are a little bit overkill, if I can say so myself.
All right, so Ghost Swing captured there. If you notice, the Baptiste got the buff. Not everyone got the buff. As far as I can tell.
We got bugs.
So that is a bug.
We're fixing it.
This version.
We're fixing it.
So maybe worth, maybe not worth, but that's how it goes. They're working on things all the time. Bugs get introduced, bugs get resolved. This is actually not even today's build. This is yesterday's build, so I believe these bugs have actually been resolved.
They have been
in
fixed.
Today's build.
All is well.
So all the things right now, not seeing your items, Ghostwing having issues, Blacklaw potentially having issues, all that stuff is resolved in today's build. But we go day by day because what matters is that they continue to advance toward ultimately that February date when 3.0 comes out, and now the late January date for 2.12's release, making sure that when we release the real build to players that there are no bugs left, which is why these test builds end up having bugs.
Absolutely.
All
Plus
right,
you gotta find some new things, cleaning up some code here and there. You know how it goes.
To keep herself alive. And now the red team has an opportunity. What will they choose to do with it? How would you be thinking about this moment right now if you're
So right now the red team does have an opportunity, but we are fairly powerful as the blue side. It's really up to them to really find a way to split us apart. Because as a team, when we fight 5v5, we're actually incredibly powerful, and we have been kind of showing that in the past few fights where we're able to kite around the enemy team. Like the last fight, it was a 5-0 fight. We killed all of them, and none of us actually fell on our side.
And you saw there that Nimmet does have a weapon buff. We haven't really talked a lot about those buffs. When Zekent has time, maybe he can tell us a little bit about those buffs. Look at Ringo flanking Nimmet. Can he turn this around? He does, and picks up the kill. Some nice play out of the Idris. Meanwhile now, Rhyme looking for someone to attack. He's having some trouble.
They're after me again.
Close.
They're always after me.
You see the core collapse. A nice play out of Zekent there, dropping the core collapse on his own position so that no one could follow up without getting caught in that. The Solar Storm does come out, clipping both Gary and Shan.
Ow.
And now it looks like this is going to end without Zekent's death.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate.
No, I think it's totally fine.
Look at Jas going right back in. And that's an aggressive Kashka. That's what you want, especially in 5v5. You want to see Kashka going in, twirling. Now in 5v5, we haven't talked about it a lot, but we'll get a barrier based on the number of enemies that Kashka twirls upon.
Yep.
So getting in, getting out, going back in, very much Kashka's assassin playstyle in the 5v5 setting.
Absolutely.
Really, really fun hero to play in 5v5.
Definitely a lot of small adjustments that Livet has made to quite a few of these heroes. Just making sure that they feel good in both 3v3 and 5v5. Making sure that they're not overpowered in 3v3. Making sure that everything is still reasonably balanced in both modes.
And at the end of the month, when we have the special stream for the release of Update 2.12, we will get into all of the details.
All of them, eh?
That.
All of them.
Other things we can note while we have a little bit of lull in the action, Update 2.12 will be iPhone 10 optimized. So we did take a little bit of time on that, make sure we did it right. It does. The game looks gorgeous on that device now, filling up every inch of that screen, including, you know, the little part at the top. So iPhone 10 optimized in Update 2.12. Again, the free camera, it's a more advanced, involved way to play Vainglory, but it is something that you should absolutely check out.
I think it's extremely useful, actually. There are a lot of times where I want to keep my eye on somewhere else on the map, but I'm like busy moving, so I can during that time I can just kind of swipe around the map, make sure that I can see what I need to see on the map to just make sure I have a good overview of what is the style situation.
All right, Hellfire Brew potentially initiating. It looks like Zekent's team might disengage here. Pick their own moment to fight.
I would actually not mind an engagement right now. I think we're pretty powerful.
Coming straight in, that really hasn't worked out. A nice afterward forces him to stay in the middle of 3 or 4 heroes, does go down. Gary is on the edge of the fight with that weapon buff, trying to get into a more advantageous position. Does pick up the heal from the Grace. Copycat takes a chunk of damage. Yado trying to do some work, does pick up a kill there. And it is Jas on the very outside. Where is Jas?
Hello.
There's Jas, okay.
All is well.
And the core collapse does...
Total whiff.
All right, that's all right though.
No one saw that.
You know, it's anticipatory. If the core collapse had hit, the Solar Storm would have as well.
All right, so you see some very close battles right now.
Jas just looking for any opportunity, any angle to take out Zekent.
I'm good.
First and foremost, we have seen 30 kills, or 34 deaths on the blue team's side.
Most of them aren't me, thank goodness.
Most of them haven't been Zekent.
If I had to do 34 times 5 push-ups, that would be...
He's done a nice job of positioning. That was the original scenario, mind you.
That is too many push-ups. I'll do a couple. I'll do like 1 push-up for each death on my team afterwards.
All right, fine. Fair enough.
Just to make things a little bit more fair.
Fair enough.
I'm not even sure I can do that many push-ups.
On the free cam, what I like to do, I like the free cam out in front of me as a hero a little bit more than the default camera position. I like to see what's coming and be able to anticipate more effectively, even if I give up some real estate behind me. And so I just use the free cam pretty much all the time, offset that camera in order to be able to see ahead of me. And
I still use the camera offset quite a bit though, like the standard camera offset where you just do a little swipe on your mini-map. That one's extremely useful.
Yeah, so that option is available too. Looks like blue team trying to come around the back of the Black Claw pit. It is Siri in first, using the reflex block and then the afterburn to get out. Grace will whiff.
Nice dodge.
But where's Waggy?
That's a free kill for us.
That's not going to work out. Jassy feels forced to go in, trying to get around these 5v5 walls. They are much more reliable than the 3v3 walls for getting over them and around them in terms of the pathing. Nimmet now's time in the barrel. Gary able to stay alive. The better of the Idris in this fight. Zekent trying to get to safe range, does hit with the core collapse. You do see the Solar Storm coming out, trying to keep range from Jas. It's not going to work out. And even though there's some help coming out of the lore line, Zekent will eventually die. It's not enough. That'll also set up a Black Claw take potentially. And it is Zekent once again returning to the fitness 5v5 area. Those are 5 push-ups. You still seem just fine.
All is well in
So
the world.
well
Except the fact that
conditioned.
my entire team is dead.
He does a lot of rock climbing, a lot of wall climbing. Seems well conditioned to meet the moment.
I got this.
Yeah, he's just not even breathing hard. Rather impressive.
Puff, 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 puff.
That's fake.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's not the truth.
I don't know what you're talking about. So this actually might be close to the game end. They do have some teleport boots on their side. How are they just going to teleport in and run away?
There you go.
So we're okay.
Look at Nidmet goes all the way in deep. Can he do something with this moment on Copycat? And does get the kill. A nice decision there made by Nidmet, looking to take the engagement in range of the Halcyon missiles coming out from the Vein Crystal. And it will be a double kill. Nicely done, turning now on the Rhyme. The Rhyme needs to stand his ground. He's got nowhere to go. He does have the fortified life, and he does pick up the kill, so that was the right decision there. And this is what Rhyme likes to do in the dueling, but it is ultimately a 1v3 for the Rhyme, and it's not going to work out.
There is actually a pin that says take the objective. Just make sure that, you know, go for them dragons, go for a Kraken.
Yeah, do you remember offhand some of the new ones that are coming in?
We got missing. You can actually announce your exact health percentage.
The missing ping! So, the question mark ping, not so much, but a missing ping coming in.
Yeah, it's actually quite useful. You can say missing, you can say like what is your exact amount of health and energy, or percentage-wise, not like exact value. But you can tell your teammates, you know, are you healthy? How do you feel?
How do you feel?
How do you feel?
You need to do more push-ups right now.
I don't feel like I need to do more push-ups. In fact, I'm against doing more push-ups.
All right.
I'd rather do less push-ups.
We can't show the pings because this is the spectator camera. We'd have to show the game from Zken's perspective. We'll make sure to do that on the 212 stream. This is not the 212 downtime stream. This is just returning to the kind of the days of old where we used to do dev streams for fun and get a chance to talk with the community, answer questions, and we'll try to capture questions as we go as well.
Yep.
It's a little hard to focus on all the things at once. Humanist was originally going to be with us. He's a little bit under the weather, so when we have him here as well, he can call the action, and I can focus on the chat. That's what we'll try to do next week.
Absolutely. Should be fun. Should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I think these games are actually incredibly fun. Like, the team fighting in these are a lot more dynamic than the 3v3. While in 3v3, like, 3v3 is a very good test of your mechanical skill, just being able to see, like, how well are you able to outplay your opponents. But a little bit more of the macro strategy here in the 5v5 game mode.
All right.
Makes it a lot of fun.
Push here for Team Zkent. The Solar Storm does come out. Crucible comes out as well. Blacklaw doing some work. This turret will not go down completely. Blue team does retreat here, making sure not to get caught in a bad fight. That looked like the silence, the item silence coming out.
So this game is actually a little bit on the longer side. Most of the games actually close out around 25, 27 minutes long on the long side. But this is a very, very close match. And because the enemy team composition is really built towards kind of killing me, it makes it a little bit harder for them to close out the game.
And of course, there are 2 river shops where you can buy items. A nice afterburn comes in. Ooh. That will ultimately mean the death of the Grace. You see the Crucible coming out. We can't see the items right now, unfortunately.
I'm okay.
But red team having a rough time here. Pick up that weapon buff. It is going to help you. Siri with another nice afterburn. Maybe that's a cooldown build. Who knows? Seems like those afterburns are coming out fast
and we can probably end the game here.
Yep, that may be it.
I'm pretty sure we can just face tank everything at this point.
Maybe
like, only Jazz up
for Team Zkent. Zkent
is
has
not
said
quite enough.
That he might be willing to do one more fitness 5v5 game.
We'll see how much time we have, but this is pretty much game. So, yeah, when 5v5 actually comes out, this would actually constitute as an ace, so you would see all the healing. But right now, that is not the case because that's put in a little bit later.
All right, the Rupture Cascade does catch Zkent. It will be of no consequence, as Team Zkent will pick up the first victory on this return dev stream.
No problem. Thank you, team, for carrying me.
All right.
I appreciate it.
We can go back to the Zkent main camera.
Should I do some push-ups for each of the deaths on my team?
On that.
I can do 1 push-up per death.
All right. Oh, we can show. Can we show the items too? Oh, that hurt. Tried to clap. It was terrible.
Likely story, playoff beard.
Bring up the other screen, so we show these items. Finally, we can see what people were building here.
Except there's this dragon in the way.
Oh, the dragon's more important.
Looks
like a spell sword breaking point build. You want to talk a little bit about some of the choices here?
Yeah, so on Koshka, it's pretty expected going for the Aftershock Broken Myth, just being able to do as much damage in percentage health as possible, especially because he saw our team actually did have quite a few Crucibles. I actually picked one up myself just to help prevent some of the CC coming out from both Grace, Koshka, Rhyme, etc. But on my side, I went for, as you can see, a very defensive build. Broken Myth, Eo Harsh, Frostburn, just making sure that I could kite my opponents and stay alive as much as possible. Physics on the other side, on our team actually picked up an Aftershock on that Lorelei, which is incredibly useful because being able to deal a little bit of damage as that captain or that roamer is actually invaluable, especially in situations where a little bit more damage will just help your team push it over the edge.
Who doesn't want Physics on their team?
Exactly. She can carry me. But as you can see, Lord Yato on that Batiste kind of went for a very CC heavy build, being able to throw those Fearsome Shades over and over, being able to throw that Bad Mojo out, and just being able to drop more Ordained over and over. With the Dragon's Eye and the Clockwork, stacking up that damage on top of lowering the cooldowns is very, very valuable. And you can see pretty common Idris builds out here, you know, some Breaking Points, Spell Swords, all around. And Ringo actually a little bit more of an offensive build. You can see a couple more War Tread pickups on both teams than you would normally see in the Halcyon
they wanted
Fold.
to get to you.
Exactly. So being able to coordinate with your team and use those War Treads strategically is very valuable. You can see it's mostly War Treads, Journey Boots. There is one pair of Halcyon Charges, and at some point someone did actually have a pair of Teleport Boots. Those were sold. I believe it was Waggy. He had Teleport Boots for, you know, a brief amount of time, and sold up back to War Treads later on. Boots are actually a little bit cheaper on in the 5v5 build, so that you can kind of swap you back and forth between them as necessary.
Okay. So did you say you wanted to do some extra push-ups?
I can do some push-ups. I'll do one for each death for my teammates. So that's what, 35? It's quite a few.
Times 5.
No, definitely not. I can do 35.
All right.
I can try to do 30. I'm
Here
not
we
actually sure I
go.
can do that many.
Nimmet.
All right, let's try this out.
All right.
Let's try this out.
Somehow, so Nimmet was talking a big game before the stream about how he was going to help out Zcant, do some push-ups on his behalf. Scott got very quiet once this started, just letting Zcant do all the push-ups without any help whatsoever. He's doing them right now. I can't. My wrist, the collision from the warband was.
It's that wrist again, right?
It is. It's really hurting.
You poor baby.
It is. It's every time I type on the keyboard, the reverberations. It's terrible. Yeah.
Well, he's going.
All right, I'm good.
Yeah. So there's like 35 more.
0.
35 more.
35 if you want.
35. See, Nimmet.
There's none that's needed. I actually.
All right,
I can do
there we
some,
go.
but-
Some push-ups are done.
Oh, maybe one beat of sweat.
A single beat of sweat.
That's the superpower carry. Zcant,
Roar!
impervious.
If only, if only.
His Netflix show is coming in the fall.
I'd watch it.
What would it be titled?
It would be called Zcant, everyone's favorite superhero.
And that other guy, Playoff Beard.
Oh, I would get to be there as a sidekick?
Yeah.
I could be like,
Maybe I'm the sidekick.
no.
I can be a sidekick.
I would be like the cameraman, the one who's like trying to the photos of you that I can sell to the newspaper.
You'll be the guy in the chair.
The guy in the chair.
Mhm.
That sounds a little bit more like Professor X. That'd be fine.
There you go. I mean, your hand's injured. Can't really go out in the field.
I can't. Or maybe I get Wolverine claws
That'd be pretty nice.
from my hand. That'd be nice. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right. Let's talk about some things. One thing that I think there's really no downside to this whatsoever. Every player would be happy about this. In update 2.12, which is coming at the end of the month, 10 more account levels.
Yes.
So if you've been on level 30 with that weird half bar full for a million bajillion years,
You can now hit level 40.
you can go all the way up to 40. You won't get
Thank goodness.
any special progress. You just continue from exactly where you
Mhm.
were. For those of you remember, getting from 29 to 30 was like insane.
Yeah.
It will not be as insane getting yourself up toward 40. And every one of those levels has chests where you can get great stuff.
Absolutely.
So that's just good.
Mhm.
10 more levels.
I agree.
10
It's
more
good
levels.
stuff. Also, one thing I do want to point out
Oh
from
no,
this
that I
last
couldn't
game.
do that. That would my hip is
I'm
also
getting
hurting.
erupted by Nivmet.
What? Yeah.
Nah, I just want to say one thing I want to point out from the last game is that there were quite, like, the Giants weren't completely functional, so the game actually did go a little bit longer. Even though we got that early Ghost Swing, we should be able to use that buff as like a pretty big
Yeah,
advantage.
only like
to
one hero got
catapult
the buff.
right? Like, but he's got the buff. And
That
it's like,
will be a reliable
okay.
buff when. Do you want to just talk for 1 minute about what the Ghostwing buff is for those who aren't familiar, how you utilize it?
So the Ghostwing buff is actually designed to make it so that it's easier for a front foot team to close out the game, but also particularly good at letting a back foot team come back into the game. What it does is while you're out of combat, specifically out of combat, you'll get dramatically increased health regeneration, dramatically increased energy recharge, and additionally a barrier that regenerates, which scales with the duration of the game. So the later in the game that you pick up this buff, the stronger it is. However, this means that when you're on a siege, it's very easy to just back off for a little bit, heal back up, and just continue sieging the next turret, as opposed to being like, well, they're closer to their base, so they're going to just go walk back into their sanctuary, heal up, and be ready to fight again, while you have to go all the way back to your own base. If you pick up the Ghosting buff, you can just keep pushing.
There you go. That sounds good. And if you end up in a fight, you won't be at a severe disadvantage.
Exactly. Or if you're able to engage in a fight with the buff on in the middle of the jungle, you are at a significant advantage.
Yeah, so obviously, once we get into 5v5 territory, you see the other team with that Ghostwing buff, the kind of bubble around them. That's not the time to fight them.
Absolutely.
All right. With that, I think it's probably worth talking for a few minutes. We released some articles about the overhaul of the skin system that is coming in update 2.12, the introduction of blueprints. For anyone who maybe missed this news, I think it's worth spending a couple minutes, and we can get into another game. So the update 2.12 introduces blueprints. What happens is the entire skin system that you've known, if you've been with the game for some time, is going away.
From like the past 2.5 years or so.
Yeah, that is entirely going away and is instead focusing players' attention on a single collectible that kind of really simplifies, clarifies all the things.
I think this is actually pretty good, just because I feel like there's a lot of confusion when you get a card. It's like, what is this for? What skin is this actually used for? Is it used for multiple different skins?
Right, and it's
a
like
mystery.
You get in, you see like 78 of 8 of this card.
You can see on your screen, like this is what you needed before.
Yes, this is
a lot of stuff.
This is what it looked like before, and maybe we can use that to talk about another thing in just a second. But essentially, yes. So how it will work is essentially all you're going to need. You got a skin. All you need is the blueprint and essence. Right? Depending on the rarity of the skin is how much essence you will need to craft that skin. But the essence is just a common pool of stuff that you can use for any skin.
Right.
And then you got to find the blueprint that you're looking for in order to be able to craft the skin. So it's just a blueprint and the essence. You don't have to worry about how many of which card and what thing, and is it for this or that or whatever.
Right.
It's just the blueprint plus the essence. I think is a lot easier to understand, and probably for me the biggest thing is a lot less of just kind of like repetitive behavior,
right?
Where you like before it was I gotta do that, I gotta destroy this card, I gotta destroy the next card, I gotta do that, I gotta do just none of that stuff is going on anymore.
Get one blueprint,
there were
get the
really
essence, you're good.
Two very different systems that were kind of working together but not working well together, and that is kind of all out the window now, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, players have been working on skins, and they may have skins still in progress when update 2.12 hits. We want to do right by all the players as always, so we've come up with a pretty darn generous formula for helping players who have skins that are already in progress.
Right.
If you want all the details on precisely how this works, you can read the article, and we're going to have another article that's coming out pretty soon that gets into all of the math. But at the simplest level, you can think about it basically if you have about 33% of the progress on a skin already, that is going to translate into automatically being given a bonus blueprint. Bonus blueprint. There's only one blueprint for each
blueprint for that skin.
Yeah. So if you have,
and they do count twice or 3 times potentially.
Yeah. So if you have a massive amount of progress on a skin, you're going to get the blueprint automatically. All of your cards are going to get automatically destroyed for essence. Based on the highest possible value, their crafting value, not the
So legendaries give like what, 360?
360 per legendary card.
So save your cards.
Edition cards.
Save your cards.
Special edition cards also at the highest at 360. It's kind of the most generous number we could. And so if you've been playing the game for a long time, you're going to end up with a bunch of essence, and then you're going to get a whole bunch of grandfathered blueprints coming over just as a bonus. That'll enable you to get a whole bunch more skins. Otherwise, how do you get blueprints? You get them by completing quests and then blueprints may pop out of the chest.
Right.
Now, I want to be very clear that the team over there is probably going to come up with all sorts of creative different things to try out in terms of how people can get blueprints. Everything you can think of under the sun, they'll probably try, see what players like, what players don't, what players want to participate in. So there's probably going to be a lot of different ways that we experiment with in terms of how you can get blueprints. But the primary way, the way that you can do an update 2.12 is complete quests. Quests may pop out blueprints, and away you go on collecting skins. Now,
There you go.
Now, because you can't rely on which blueprint would pop out of a chest, it's a lot less reliable than before. It's more random than before. Skin pricing for the vast majority of skins is also coming down, so that if you basically have your heart set on a skin and you don't want to deal with the randomness of the crafting system, then you'll be able to get that skin for less than before. So hopefully that works out for players.
Absolutely. And it's something I'm kind of excited about because I felt like before there was a lot of clutter inside your collection. Like, you have all these different cards. Sorting through them was kind of a pain. Figuring out exactly what you needed for each skin was a little bit difficult. And now just being able to say, okay, I have the blueprint. I need this X amount of essence for it. And you're good, makes it a lot easier.
All right, I dropped the link in the chat to the blueprints article. Now, one more thing I mentioned there, that all people's cards collections automatically get destroyed. I know there are players out there who they like the art. They've been collecting the art, like a stamp collection, right? And they like to look at it, and they like to be able to say, look, I got this Taka card from this LE Taka card from 1,000,000 years ago. Isn't that cool? And that those cards are all going away because that system is going away. Well, please know, we're thinking about you. We have you in mind. We are keeping the data for every individual player's card library. So we will still know exactly the cards that you had in your personal collection. And we're going to see what we can do with those in the future to try to, bring that back in some form, do something for players to honor, the collection that they originally had. So it's way, way premature for me to, get into any details around that. Nothing has been locked on that front. But what I can say is that we certainly have that in mind. We're thinking about players. We know some players care about those card collections, those art kind of collections, and we're making sure to preserve that data, and we'll find something cool to do with it.
Yep.
Okay, so with that, some skins are also being renamed as part of this as well, because there's no longer going to be 3 skins that are 3 tiers of one skin line, because that system doesn't exist anymore. So if there were 3 Paragon Catherines before, now you're going to go in and you're going to see one of them is Paragon Catherine. One of them is like Queen's Knight Catherine. One of them is Serpent Mask Catherine, the one that looks kind of Medusa-like. So you'll see those names changing so that they're differentiated. And then where we saw opportunities, we also introduced some new themes. So a whole bunch of skins that were kind of ice themed. So we kind of unified the naming around those to all be ice skins. So really, more than anything, we can do some special boxes for those. We do some special bundles, have some fun with it. It has nothing to do with the skin system, nothing that you have to do in any particular order like before. But, there were a couple churn-based skins based on the lore. We made those, gave those churn names. There were some more skins that were school skins in the lore, like a Jewel line of skins where she's in Cadet Academy. If you read the lore, it's all about Jewel's experiences in the Cadet Academy. We're like, that's a school skin. It should be a school day skin with the other school day skins. So we added, one of the Jewel skins to the school days line.
Seems good.
All just kind of for fun. Special edition skins will not have blueprints in update 2.12, although that's possible. That will change in the future. Special edition skins, collecting opals and spending opals remains the primary way, sometimes in special boxes, bundles, other things. But that's, so maybe in the future with special edition skins in 2.12, that won't change. And limited edition skins, those 7 original limited edition skins, still completely off limit. If you don't have it already, there's no way to get it. Golden ticket holders will be getting a special limited edition Golden Nether Knight Lance skin. This is the Nether Knight Lance Epic skin with a special golden treatment on it. That will be a special gift. That is a limited edition skin, so that will also not be craftable in the new system. If you have a golden ticket, you will get that limited edition skin as a bonus. We will do an SE and a special edition version of that sometime down the road.
Sounds good.
But that is, not... It doesn't exist. It's just a twinkle in Chainsaw's eye at the moment. That's the skin
Ding.
system. Hoorays.
Seems good.
All right. What do we think, guys? Should we do one more game?
Whew, that depends. Is Nivmet
It's
down for
already
another
12.
game?
It's already 12. We would be in overtime. What do we think?
What do you say? I'm down.
Zekent's down? Should we do
I'm
one
down.
more?
Let's do it.
Shin, what do you think, Shin? All right,
Alright.
we're going to do one more game.
Shin is down.
And then when
Nivmet's
that game is
down.
over, that will be the end of this dev stream.
I have Fuji on my team now. This is
Ooh.
great.
That's good.
I'm liking this team.
He's probably here in the building. If you're listening, come say hi, Fuji.
I'm gonna play as. Do I want to do push-ups? Does Playoff Beard want to do push-ups?
I
You can do
can't-
one-arm
I
push-ups.
can't do push-ups.
Playoff Beard does one-arm push-ups.
I can't do one-arm push-ups.
That's disappointing.
Both my wrists are hurting. And my hip. My hip too.
Both hip. Your hip on both sides.
My hip has also been a little
A
bit
likely
wonky.
story. A likely story.
It's terrible.
All right. Well, how about this? We'll just save some push-ups from this stream for the next one for Playoff Beard to do.
What? No.
I don't think his hand will be injured that long.
I gotta work out. I need to. This is not gonna go well.
Excuses. Just excuses. That's all I'm hearing.
Why don't we? You should do the push-ups. No.
I can do some push-ups.
All right.
I can have Shinkai can do some push-ups.
Nimmet can help.
Nivmet can do some push-ups.
That's true.
How
And
this
maybe the community will help.
how this game will be Nivmet does push-ups. He's shaking his head.
He's saying yes.
Yeah.
All right. So that is
He's
decided.
shaking his head yes.
Nimmet is so every time Zekent or Nivmet dies, one of them has to do push-ups, and they can
I'm
decide in
down.
real time.
I'm down.
And the community can help do some push-ups in tribute by doing push-ups and posting the video with #fitness5v5
I'm down.
on social media.
I know who I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play this fellow.
All right. They're getting into the next game. We'll continue to talk about the things. Is Fuji on your team or on the other team?
Fuji is on my team.
Oh, that'll
playing
help.
as Reza.
That'll help. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic.
Fuji's Reza in 5v5 is absolutely dirty.
I'm looking forward to this.
This might very well be a stomp on behalf of Team Zekent.
I'm down
that
with
is how
this.
good- that
I'm
is
okay
how
with
good
this.
Fuji's Reza is.
I am okay
in
with
5v5. It's really, really frightening.
Fuji's pretty good in general.
Yeah. Well,
So I mean,
so Zekent might not need any help here.
Mhm.
Nivmet might not need any help.
they can still kill me a lot. I'm playing Finn.
You're playing Finn.
Finn's awesome.
Are you gonna go full defense, Finn?
I'm gonna go. So one thing I actually like to do on Finn is get multiple pairs of boots. I feel like having both Journey boots and War Treads is extremely good on him.
Tell me why.
So one of the big issues with Finn is that, you know, his movement speed is not the fastest. Having Journey boots kind of alleviates that concern.
Mhm.
And having Journey boots gives you one extra, you know, ability to run away or run towards an enemy
Right. with the sprint.
while also being able to help your allies. Plus, it gives you a pretty substantial amount of health.
And then the War Treads.
That's what I'm talking about, the War Treads.
So you just end up with 2 boot sprints.
Well, 3 because Journey boots resets very quickly. There you go.
All right.
And
Zekent
that is the
always with the
reason-
off meta.
That's the reason.
We'll see what happens.
Now you know.
And knowing is.
All of the battle. 100% of it.
All right, here we go into the second and final 5v5 game of this Just for Fun dev stream.
Mm-hmm.
In we go. Every time Nivmet dies, he has to do 10 push-ups.
Perfect.
And he's not even paying attention.
Nivmet doesn't want to do any push-ups.
Every time Zekent or Nivmet
Every
dies,
time.
one of them has to do push-ups. But I'm telling you, Reza's Fuji is so strong.
Reza's Fuji.
Invert that the other way around. Reza's Fuji is so strong that likely no push-ups will need to be done. We're on to Sovereign's Rise. Ladies and gentlemen, Zekent and Nivmet are on the rise.
Dun dun dun. That's a very dramatic line.
Yeah.
Was it necessary?
Here we go. So again, what lane are you going this time?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be roaming around.
You're gonna be roaming around.
I'm
Nivmet.
likely gonna be staying near middle just because I need to be able to make sure that I can roam to the side lanes very quickly, especially with that river travel bonus, which is on Finn incredibly important.
All right, so Nivmet on the Evolution Samuel in top lane, at least for top lane for us. Talk to me a little bit about how you think about top lane.
It's mostly to make sure that you don't really get killed. Make sure you can either push in your opponents or that you can kind of put pressure on your lane so that you have an opportunity to go purchase in either the river or to go toward the mid lane to kind of help them out. Because even though the movement speed is only going towards the side lane, coming back to your lane is actually pretty quick. So doing some quick rotations there is actually extremely powerful.
Talk to me a little bit about the emergent meta, long before Vainglory, before I even joined this company, I played League, I was a Ziggs and a Kali main, top was oftentimes, the place where the Bruiser lives. What is happening so far kind of in the emergent, not yet out to the public 5v5 meta?
There's a fin on this side too.
And what you would typically see kind of top lane?
The thing you would expect to see on the side lanes, it's not a really fixed meta. It's more of you can either play something that's more of a bruiser, or you can play something that's kind of a hard carry, depending on how your team wants to play with it. If you're able to kind of rotate toward the side lanes and kind of help your side laners out to put more pressure on your opponents, it's actually very advantageous to be able to just get a carry in that side lane where they can farm very safely, because there's less pressure on there than something, say, like mid lane, where there's going to be a lot more enemies kind of sticking around.
And I should mention there's a lot of great videos, a lot of great articles that are being put out by the Vainglory community right now. Nimit, I think he's going to be okay. He's really risking it, though, and will he have to
I got him.
do some push-ups? The bloodthirstiness
Nope,
again
we
coming
good.
into play.
Fuji's
nice
coming
job.
to save the day.
And that was Nimit. He knew exactly what he was doing there. He knew that people would want to kill him so that he would have to do push-ups, and he baited that out and secured.
So what I'm going to do here is a little bit unorthodox for, I guess, the captain, or not really, is picking up the early travel boots. I immediately on my first back went to pick up travel boots for the extra movement speed, especially on Finn, who really needs it.
Don't mess with Fuji, Jess. Don't do it.
And also, you might notice there's a house down flare gun, which I've been using a little bit of. It has a pretty substantial cooldown, so it's not quite as easy to use as the flare gun in Halcyon Fold, but it still helps you clear out some scout cams and really gives you a little bit of stats too.
That sounds like a thing I need to have in my editorial and done.
You should do that.
What were we
Let's just
talking
bash
about?
them.
The Vainglory community. Make sure there's a lot of great content that's being produced right now. Just a few quick examples.
Get him! Get him! Get him,
I
Nivet!
noticed Broken Myth. Monfish just put out an article looking, kind of the first in a series, looking at 5v5. Flash X put out a video recently on juggle rotations. That's exactly the kind of stuff that I'm excited to see the community put out, letting players know, okay, if you're going to play jungle for the first time, here's what to do, here's how to think about it. The first time you get into jungle in 5v5, there's a lot of places to go. There's weapon and crystal treants. There's, when do I want to go gank? When do I want to be farming? There's a lot of choices to make. When do I want to be invading? Some great videos being put out on jungling. Flash X video being one of them that I saw recently. Excoundrel is putting out content on 5v5. Tons and tons of people putting out content on 5v5. Make sure you have your eye out for that. The usual suspects like Rumbly, of course, are going to be all over this stuff. So make sure you're looking for the content from the Vainglory community. We'll have official stuff that we put out, of course, but oftentimes the community does an even better job than we do in talking about 5v5 and what you can look out for, how you can think about it when the mode finally comes out.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to how that develops over the first couple of, just weeks and months. I want to see like what kind of creative strategies do players come out with. And right there, you can actually see being able to rotate toward your side just to help push up the lane a little bit and to allow them to back is actually very, very useful. Making sure your allies have the opportunity to really kind of relieve themselves of pressure a little bit, just to make sure that they can go purchase more easily, they can go roam more easily, and to really keep your opponents on their toes, making it so that they're not ever sure of where exactly you are on the map.
Vanish leaping out of the fray, able to stay alive. It is, of course, this Fuji jungle Reza that has just been killing me over and over again in internal playtests. With that weapon buff from the weapon treant, someone...
Hello. I'm in a battle with physics.
A battle of the Finns?
Battle of the Finns.
Nice.
Neither one will win because neither one can do any damage.
One is that...
I'm stronger though, so it's all good.
One is Summer Party Finn. The other is one of those Churn Finn skins.
Let's see if we can... I need to hit level 6. I really want to get that Force of Core. It's just so useful. Being able to force those engagements where your opponents aren't really quite ready for it. And there's actually a lot of concern that, Finn would not be that viable in 5v5 because of his slow movement speed. Being able to take advantage of the river is actually incredibly important.
Yeah.
And the fact that his Polite Company actually grants such a big amount of fortified health to his allies is so good.
Yeah,
Here goes Fuji.
Of course, heroes like Saw Fuji's probably end up with a double here.
Oh.
Fuji things
I'm
picking
tanking.
up one.
I'm backing out. That's pretty good.
And under the turret, they do get one. That's good.
Oh, there's some battles going on in the top side. What's going on over there? Taka's being jumped on. Let's see if we can help him out.
On top, Taka does not want to be
Get him.
raised right now. Will resist.
There
for
we
the
go.
kill.
My team is carrying me. This is great.
7. Well, this is exactly what I told you was going to happen.
Thank you, Fuji
Fuji
and friends.
Fuji and friends. This is a very strong team. It's a very dirty team.
Yeah, you can actually see like the side lanes are actually there's an Alpha, there's a Rona, there's a Vox. It really comes down to how your team wants to play these compositions. There's a lot of opportunities to really mix it up on which heroes go where. And it really just comes down to how you want to play personally.
And again, we'll get into it more in the actual 212 stream when 212 is coming out. But Nibmet has optimized all of these heroes for 5v5, making sure they're viable. Alpha's another hero that got some love.
I have somehow
for
hit
5v5.
higher level than Nivmet. Yes. Excellent.
As the roamer, that's quite impressive.
The roamer actually gets a pretty substantial amount of experience, so it's quite nice.
One thing I should mention, I'd be very remiss not to mention. So,
Oh!
Did he get it?
No, we got it, we got it.
All right. In 5v5, as most people have probably seen, the I don't know, maybe Zekan, do you want to talk to this? The position of the minimap in 5v5,
Yeah.
how you think about the position of the different things in the HUD in-game in 5v5.
So in 5v5, we actually have a dedicated slot for both scout cams and for the healing flask, which actually makes it so that it's much easier to... One second. Battles are going on. It makes it much easier to really figure out, or not really have to worry. Whoa.
Oh, Nibmet does go down. Come over and do some push-ups, my good friend. Will Zekan
Well, I got the kill.
follow?
No!
And you guys as well.
Dual push-ups.
Oh, the dual push-up action. Maybe they'll do them like synchronized swimming. Here we go. Nibmet and Zekan. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Too many push-ups.
Nibmet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.
More fours. Alright, so one thing I'm actually doing in this game is I'm actually maxing Polite Company first, just to make sure that I can give as many people the fortified health as possible and as high amount as possible.
All right, hold on. Before we move on, so you were talking about
Oh,
on
the
HUD,
HUD.
there's 2 special spots, and then the position of the mini-map is something very important to talk about.
Right. So there's 2 special slots for both the healing flask and the scout cams, just so that you never have to sell them. You basically just keep them for the entirety of the match. And the minimap is also relocated to top left because you're always playing from left to right, and this makes it so that you don't really have to worry about switching back and forth between left and right team because from your perspective, it's about the same. It's basically the same, except for Blackclaw and Ghostwing are swapped around on their locations.
Oh, a Forcer bringing everyone in.
Hello.
He follows up with the Polite Company.
Some damage.
So, for anyone who wasn't paying attention, when he said that, when you get into 5v5, the minimap will be on the other side than the side that you're used to. It takes some getting used to, but it makes sense in the context of 5v5. You'll also have the free cam, so you have complete control over how you're using the camera and the camera offset. Trust me, because I was, probably the most skeptical person in the entire layer regarding the minimap swap. You get used to it. It does make sense in 5v5 as time goes on. Now, an important note for update 2.12 is that because we've made this change for 5v5, and this alpha's...
Ooh, somehow
no,
not dead.
What? The alpha just barely surviving on the reboot, turning it
Not
around.
great.
Those are
Not
more
great.
push-ups for Nibmet. Those will be more push-ups for Zekan as it all goes sideways as the alpha able to reboot and stay alive, surprisingly. 3, 4, and 5 from Zekan. And 10 from Nibmet. Every time he dies, it doubles. 1 to get down there. 3, 4, 4. All right.
So there's actually
Thank
a couple.
you, Nibmet. Good job.
There's also
Good
a couple,
job, Nibmet.
There's also a couple items that do scout cam upgrades where it gives you more scout cams. They're able to be placed more frequently, and in general, it's actually quite useful, especially early on, just be able to get more vision across the map, just to make sure that your teammates have as much coverage as possible.
We should finish what we were saying though. Because of the changes that we were making in 5v5, the minimap, PSA, alert, the minimap in update 2.12 is going to flip to the other side in update 2.12 in 3v3 as well. If you do not like this, if this freaks you out, if this ruins your life, then you can switch it back in your settings. On iOS, that's the app settings. You got to go into your settings, go into Vainglory, find it. It'll be in the settings. You can switch it back. So when you get into that first game and you're like, oh my God, what is the minimap? What's happening? I can't do the things. You can switch it back. Don't worry, you can switch it back.
Oh, unfortunate.
Oh no, this is going down. It was 9-0. It was 9 kills to none, and now it is 9-9 as it all goes south. Fuji, where are you, Fuji? There's. We need some help, Fuji.
I think these push-ups are taking their toll on our gameplay.
Yeah. The Alpha almost secured the kill. Does manage to reboot. Some good play out of Copycat here, and turning it around on Jas. Wonderful effort out of Copycat here.
Oh.
Will it end up a 3 deaths to 0?
Ooh, nice.
It will. What's excellent play out of the Alpha there. Able to stay alive, able to maneuver, picking the right moments to re-engage.
Yeah, one thing you might be noticing in this game is actually that the scout cams are dying big, which that is not how it's going to be when it finally releases.
Hey, it's Captain Nito.
Captain Nito?
He can't see here. Let's pick up Captain Nito on the secondary cam.
They can probably
Look
hear
at
me,
Nick. Look at Nick. Can we pick up Captain Nito? It's Captain Nito, everybody. Here, take the headset.
What's up, people? I say that as if people can answer me back.
Yeah.
But I guess they can't.
I can.
You can.
I can.
Are you winning, George?
I'm totally winning. I'm always winning.
That's important.
Even if we're losing, we're winning.
That is super important.
Right? Isn't
Yeah.
it?
I came over here because right now I was fixing a whole bunch of bugs over on the other side with the gameplay devs, because we're getting ready for our next release, and then I got really tired. And I saw you guys on stream, and I was just like, I know what I can do. I'm gonna interrupt.
Perfect.
The bugs you fixed are in this build. Go swing not working, Black Claw not working.
Yep.
We can't see any
Items, yeah.
I'm glad you've been
We're working on that. Yep, that's exactly the stuff we're working on right now. This is me being a slacker.
So clearly you gotta get
I
back
just
to
wanted
work.
to be on stream instead of fixing actual bugs.
Everyone's saying buttery smooth in the chat.
Everybody's saying buttery smooth?
As they should be.
That's the way things should be. Yes.
People want to know if I ever got my gluten-free cookies.
Oh, of course. Well, I only had one. He didn't get multiple gluten-free cookies. I'm not made out of money.
So,
Or are you?
Or am I?
Doing the push-ups.
Oh yeah, Nivmet's doing push-ups again?
It's 5v5.
Dang, Nivmet. Go, bro. Get it, bro. Look at that. 2, 3, 4. Oh!
My friends are dying.
Got it!
This is not
That's
ideal.
impressive.
Sadly,
Fitness, man.
I was injured in the lead up to the stream.
Convenient. You were conveniently injured.
Very conveniently.
To be injured, let me tell you. It's
Uh-huh.
very uncomfortable.
Uh-huh.
I can hardly move.
Really? If we unwrapped your bandage, are you actually injured?
No,
Or
he's
did
definitely
you
not.
do this so you didn't have to do... Yeah, I see the bandage.
It was a warband injury.
Oh, a warband
Excellent
injury. That's terrible.
I had this on my wrist.
I
That
like
is so
the story.
terrible.
I like the story.
We did a thing.
Yep.
However you play this game, we did one of those,
And you hurt your wrist.
and it exploded. It
Mm-hmm.
just into tiny little shards of bone.
There are so many jokes that can be made on how you injured your wrist. But I am going to instead, go with your story. That's the best.
Whoops.
Crossing through that line.
No, you did not. Okay, this is great. I'm sure everybody in chat is like, please get Captain Nito off of this place. I'm going to go back and fix more
Fix
bugs.
the bugs.
I'm going to go fix all the
You
bugs.
can see the items.
Go,
Fix
Nivmet!
it.
Get it, bro! That's right. Good form, too.
Who wants to do some push-ups on Nivmet's behalf here? I want some people to do some push-ups for Nivmet.
I think Nivmet's got this.
Yeah, I feel like so. Okay, I'm going to give it back now to Playoff Beard. I got to go.
Thank you for stopping by.
Oh shoot!
That is, of
I made a
course, our
huge
chief
mistake.
creative, Captain Nito.
I made
it's
a
always
huge
a pleasure
mistake.
when he stops by.
No! Oh, I'm okay.
Oh, he's alive. Is he?
I'm
Jazz?
dead.
Oh.
Unfortunate.
More push-ups. And the weapon buff drops as well. 1, 2. Zken could do this all day long. Zken's going to start doing them one-handed like Saw. Hey, Nick, if you come in, people are asking about this thing. These were sent to us by this nice guy, Matt. These, you get in real close on that. You can see there's even one of me up there. But these are like hex game thingies. There's numbers on there. You can actually play.
Interesting. What do you do with them?
Oh, it's hard to zoom. It's hard to focus this. Very difficult.
just move closer.
Oh God, I'm afraid to move now. I don't want to mess up his attempt to zoom. Anyway,
I believe our enemies are doing the thing. Oh, they're after me now.
Oh, that's better.
anyway, that's how I got injured.
Oh my.
Oh, this is a big fight.
Oh
It's a
no.
gauntlet.
Oh no.
The Drifting Dark comes out. Copycat trying to stay alive. Somehow is still alive. The Alpha does end up in the reboot. Everyone focusing Copycat will go down.
This is
next.
not ideal.
Finn needs 8 pairs of boots to escape all of these heroes in a 5v5 setting. The Halcyon missiles do take out one player on the red team. Shinkaigen has gone to sleep as we don't even see the kill. And that's more push-ups. What happened there, Shin? And Nimmet also died.
I feel like this
2, 3, 4, 5. Good job, Nimmet.
I feel like this
Try to help.
second game was a mistake on my part.
Who wants to do some push-ups for Nivmet? I want to see someone in tribute saying they are willing to do some push-ups for Nivmet. Take a video of them doing the push-ups and put them on social with hashtag.
The good news is we might get this bomb turret for free.
Nimmet did not sign up for this. I did not ask him in advance.
Shinkaigen has
Oh,
offered
Shin
himself
has
up as
offered
tribute.
himself as tribute for Nimmet. That's very kind. Nimmet has been a good sport. I did not ask him in advance. Also, Irate Pirate. So, all right, so Irate Pirate, post your video on social. Do 5 and post it, and then we'll count those towards somebody. Thank you. So will Dax 653. Thank you. Go do some push-ups. Post it on social with hashtag fitness5v5, and we will count those.
Oh no.
I will eat 5 push pops. Nova Master will eat 5 push pops.
Okay.
That won't count, but that sounds good. Anything but Tide Pods. Do not eat Tide Pods.
Yes, that does not seem
Okay.
healthy for you.
Copycat will not take out Physics, who barely stays alive. Nimmet getting chunked down
I'll
for
save you.
damage. Oh,
No, I
no,
won't.
and now it's time for Shinkaigen. In tribute, the camera will stay on Zcant because Shinkaigen is the cameraman.
okay,
Here
I'm
he
alive.
comes.
All is well.
The one and only, the super sub, the star of the North America versus SCA match at the World Championship. It is Shinkaigen. His lance was unbelievable in Singapore. Go watch that video if you
I pulled
haven't
him,
seen
but this was a mistake.
Oh no, it's a Taka versus a Finn. Will the Rona show up in time? Is on there using the foe splitter. There's an X-Retsu though, and it will be
I'm
enough for the
okay.
fortified life. See, it's like, I'm
phase.
okay. I'm okay.
I'm okay, don't worry. All is well.
All is well.
All is well in the world.
Yeah, we are working on spectator updates for 5v5. Those will likely come in time. Exceptions in the chat for those.
Hello.
Will we show the Golden Lance today? Unlikely, because this is the last game. We'll show that on the next stream. We're gonna do this once a week. We're gonna do streams for fun. Plus, we're gonna have the stream when 212 comes out.
Oh, my friends are dead. Unfortunate.
And it started out so well. It was 9-0. Now 17-29.
Unfortunate.
As the red team makes progress here, working on that armory. Taxlow and another member of Team Zcant will go down. Nibmet now getting very gun-shy, trying to keep distance with that Samuel. Drifting Dark, staying in this Drifting Dark a long time. There's a lot more real estate here on the 5v5 map. Stringing together those Malice and Verdicts quite nicely.
But we'll get this one
get
kill.
caught by Finn momentarily. Some nice kiting out of Nibmet, looking for a kill on the Arden. Cage Fighter Arden will go down. Physics now in trouble. It's Finn on Finn violence here. River Troll versus River Troll.
Slowed.
No, it can't do that to a Finn.
It can slow him. It just doesn't slow him as much.
Doesn't pull him back. Look at this. The flank now
Done.
coming out. The force support does not connect. Fuji trying to come around the rock now with that Reza. That will be a wait for it going wide. One death. Oh no, Nivmet. Say it ain't so. Nivmet, you can get away from the Black Feather. Can you? Will he be able to kite? There's 2 there now, and he does kill 1, but goes down again. No, you're good. You're good, Nivmet. Shin is doing him.
It was worth. It was worth.
Shin is doing him.
I got a kill.
Here comes Shin Kaigen, the super sub. Now, he is truly a super sub when he's even subbing in for the push-ups. I would love to sub in myself. Unfortunately, I've been incapacitated in a warband injury, and it's really heartbreaking.
What a tragedy.
I feel like I can't contribute to the team in a meaningful way. I tried to play, I couldn't play. It hurt too much. The gauntlet comes out. That will silence Finn instead of stopping him. Multiple members and the flames coming out of Black Claw as well. Fuji trying to put himself in a position to fight.
Save.
And now Fuji can't really smartly engage here. He would just, it would be certain death. He's forced to back away. And it will be Z-Kent doing push-ups. Shin Kaigen's not even moving the camera. Where is Shin? Is Shin even in the room?
All right.
The stream is 20 minutes over. It's allotted length, so Shin is multitasking. All right, Cage Fighter Arden does drop the cage. Fuji staying along the outside of that now. Fuji and Copycat trying to put together a rally.
They're just trying to drag it out for us.
On the front line, misses with the A. And now Siri, Jas. Oh, Siri might get caught here by Fuji on the Reza. A nice Vanguard to get away, get to the Finn. What is that? A weapon Arden, or is it a double support?
This
comp?
is a mystery because the scoreboard is being fixed at the moment.
Oh, you can't even see?
Nope.
All right. Well, we'll never know.
It's a mystery.
We'll never know.
One day we'll find out.
One day.
One day.
All right, Yado, Physics, Jas. Jas now getting out a little bit ahead of the rest of the team
Very
there.
aggressive.
The wait for it does come out to really no consequence. The Drifting Dark will subside. Jas, I don't know, Jas wants to be on the front line on this Vox, kiting quite nicely though around Nivmet.
There goes
Makes
Nivmet.
a bad call. And it looks like he's going to do his own push-ups here.
Walk away.
There were people, also have been people in chat. I have seen some tribute. We have at least one set that's covered here.
All right. So the next set is covered.
The next set is covered.
So I should die, so Nivmet has to do push-ups.
The next set is clearly covered. I have seen a post on social. All right. Vayne leaping into the fray on top of the team. This is very, very deep. Perhaps he'll advise using the reflex block, trying to stay alive. Will get out without dying. The gauntlet does come down. Copycat now in the reboot phase. 4 members of the team around him. Does survive long enough to reboot, but then will go down.
Our opponents seem quite powerful at the moment.
And is the red team going deeper and deeper, taking out these armories.
This is not ideal.
And on the crystal now. It might be 1-1 on the day for Team Z-Kent. One final pivotal battle. Can Fuji carry? We see the ultimate coming out of Reza, following up a lot of damage going on to Physics. It's probably not the person you want to focus if you can help it. Yado now taking a lot of damage. The gauntlet is dropped by Siri. 1 down on blue team. Fuji now under fire, kiting back, goes back in. Jas able to stay alive.
Close.
Vox now with the reflex block, staying on the outside, taking some Halcyon missiles,
got a kill.
forced to retreat. And it looks like the Vayne Crystal defenses may have turned this fight.
But Taka.
Physics will go down. Jas
But
will
there's
recall.
a Taka.
Oh no, there's a Taka in the base. Will he be able to close on the Vayne Crystal? He goes to sleep though. A nice sleep coming out of the Samuel. And that will be enough to keep the game alive.
All is well.
Talk to me a little bit about what you're noticing in this game, other than just the bloodthirstiness for the special push-ups.
So one of the big things is actually that the other team is actually taking a very good advantage of the Taka on their team. So they're actually split pushing extremely well, trying to force our team to kind of split our focus. When we do engage the 4 members of the rest of their team, Taka's able to push in, take some turrets, take some armories, just do a lot of damage to our structures in general. And that's actually a very important part of playing 5v5, being able to take advantage of that multiple lanes on the map to split your opponent's focus, try and make it so that they have to make a lot of decisions very quickly on where they should be going.
And we see Siri just trying to take care of this wave here. We wonder what the builds are, but Captain Nito needs to fix that bug. So we will not know in this build.
Well, it looks like
Likely in
I can
today's
see it
build.
now. So Arden's going, he has Clockwork,
Oh, there we go.
Aftershock.
Some items.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a Super Scout 2000.
There you go. Super Scout 2000.
Talk
I got
to me
one.
about that.
Lets you have your scout cams come out more often, and also have a short cooldown. So pretty useful, being able to stack up a couple more charges of it. So you are able to save them for when you really need them, or if you just want to go for a bit more of an earlier usage of them, you can do that too. Just having them up more frequently.
Will this result in a fight? You see the War Treads as Physics wants to engage. They want to push here, perhaps to win. The Forcer Core does catch him, and oh my goodness, a little embarrassing that the Reflex block came out too late on that. Item silenced as well
but
as they
Taka's
target
on
him,
our Vein
and he
Crystal.
does die. Taka just focusing the crystal. What is this? Why is the screen chip? What is back to us? What happened? What happened? Is the game over?
Oh, the game is over.
Is the game over?
The game has ended.
The game is ended off camera. Shinkai, why?
Worth it.
Why,
Worth
Shin,
it.
Why? Shin left to do the push-ups. He changed the camera too early. Camera tours. I want to see the camera tours emotes in the chat.
Tragedy.
Shin wanted so badly to do the push-ups that he left the game before it ended. The cardinal sin of any spec cam operator. He will be thoroughly spoken to by Fury later on
Exactly.
today, I am sure. That's right, fired from the spec cam.
Yep.
Fired.
So it goes. So it goes.
Any final thoughts on these builds?
These builds are, pretty solid across the board. You can see Taka has actually gone for a lot of attack speed, taking advantage of, just being able to get to
Oh,
a
Moobot, chill out, Moobot.
Get into a
No
turret.
one is excessively using emotes right now. I requested the camera tours. This is Moobot's fault.
all good, all
All right.
good. But no, the builds are actually pretty solid. You can see the No Wave Gauntlet actually coming out in Physics, so taking advantage of the item science to really prevent the usage of Crucible, prevent the usage of Fountain, just making sure that it's hard to block those Force Accords and other abilities coming out, especially with the Arden, who does have Clockwork, Aftershock, and Broken Myth. Being able to drop that Gauntlet, doing a pretty sizable amount of damage with that Gauntlet on top of that Blood for Blood, playing more of a hyper carry style of play where you had both the Barrier coming out from Arden on top of the Fortified Health coming out from Finn. It can make both, Black Feather and Vox incredibly hard to take down while Taka is split pushing.
Do you have any criticisms for Fuji and his play?
He should have carried us harder.
He should have.
Yeah.
He should have. I'm deeply, deeply disappointed.
I had great faith in his ability to carry us.
I'm sure we'll see him redeem himself on a future stream.
Absolutely.
So with that, update 212 coming at the end of January. 3.0 with 5v5 coming to the masses in February. 212 will have the early access for golden ticket holders for 5v5. 5v5 for everyone
Seems good.
in February. In 212, we have UI changes coming in. Make your experience easier, clearer. We hope you love it. Lots of chatter on that right now. It's a good hot topic right now. We always listen to your feedback. 10 more account levels coming. So you can open more chests and
Good
have
stuff.
more things to do. Skin system overhaul we talked about earlier. Collect blueprints, use essence, have good times. And
Lots of exciting stuff coming
yeah,
this year.
we'll-
I'm looking forward to
and
it.
lots and lots of hero changes. Make sure things are optimized for 5v5 while keeping them in a good spot for 3v3.
Absolutely.
Lots more to talk about on our subsequent streams. But I want to thank all the PBE testers for their time. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank Nidmet and Zkent for being, and Shinkaigen for being incredible sports, willing to do push-ups while I was injured.
I feel like I should just bop your hand.
No, don't do that. Oh!
There you go. Truly injured now.
It's hurting. It hurts so much. It's actually, this bandage is actually cutting off the circulation a little bit.
You should probably take that off.
Yeah. Nimet, it's been a while, man. It's been fun.
I'm not Nifmet. but it has been a
Nimbat,
while.
It's been a while. It's been fun. Zcan, it's been a long while.
It has
It's
been a
really
while.
fun to see
It's
you.
been a couple months here and there.
It's been really fun to have you back. I hope you come back next time as well.
We'll see.
You are the star of the show after all.
I'm working on it.
He's also working on 5v5. That's what we're excited to bring you. We'll be back soon. We'll be back next time. Final word.
Wait for 3.0. Wait for 2.12. It's gonna be amazing. So many changes coming to the game. I am really looking forward to seeing like all the crazy strategies, all the crazy meta shifts that we can see in 5v5. What do players come up with? What strategies come out on top? What strategies even are viable? Because we kind of built the map to make sure that as many strategies were viable as possible. And I really want to see how players take advantage of that.
Perfect. That's the last word. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.